Hey friends, Worm here, and man does that fire under Bungie's ass keep getting bigger and bigger. Today, we are going to be talking about Astacross's video that he put out, I believe it was yesterday, let me see. No, 2 days ago, sorry, in regards to Destiny becoming a microtransaction hell. And I've got to say, he pointed out things in there that me, as a veteran player of D1 since September 2014, didn't even realize or think about. Okay, so I'm not going to break down the video or anything like that. That's doing too much, but I did want to talk about his points here and just, I guess, offer thoughts and hopefully help spread the word and just talk with y'all about everything that is going on right now, because this video has a lot of things to say about it. Okay, so if you haven't watched it, I would strongly recommend you go watch it. But yeah, let's talk about it. So, of course, in the start of the video, he talked about Destiny being free to play, except it's not. He says that it's free to play. That's what it's labeled as, but it's not actually free to play. It's free to try. It's free to try out, get your hands on it, see what it's like, but you don't get access to like most of the fun aspects of the game, and of course that's very true. The free to play aspect of it is, hey, you get core playlists, you get a couple of older raids, like Volta Glass and King's Fall. I don't even think you get any dungeons included in that, but you get strikes too that you can sometimes partake in, blah, blah, blah. That's about it. Okay. And everybody says, oh, well, Destiny's free to play. It's so cool, blah, blah, blah. It's not. And he points out in his video why that is. And it makes me feel really, really bad. And we're going to bring up this point a lot because I have tried convincing one of my closest friends to play the game. I have tried forever. Hey man, you should come play this game. Like, come on, like it's so much fun. Like we'd have so much fun, blah, 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 blah. And I've even told him, it's there's free to play, like stuff like that. But he hasn't done it yet. And after watching this video and doing my own research, I figured out why. And I don't blame him. But from there, I want to talk about the very first thing, the shake my head at Bungie, shame on Bungie thing. He talks about the confusing pay structure. And I want to pull this up so that everybody can see it here. This is currently the I guess the structure of content for this game. You can get Lightfall plus the annual pass, or you can get just Lightfall. You can get the Legacy Collection, which would have everything in it, right? No, you're wrong. You could get Season of the Deep Silver Bundle for $14. You get the Bungie 30th Anniversary Pack, Witch Queen, Beyond Light, Shadowkeep, Forsaken, then some other stuff down here. You can also get the Destiny Armory Collection, which has 30th Anniversary and Forsaken combined into one. You can spend $400 for all this together, right? Just click this button, you get it all, easy peasy, right? Yeah, no. Because if you look in here, if you hit buy this, you added all to the cart and bought it, whatever, which I'm not going to do right here, obviously. But you would pay twice for Lightfall. You would pay twice for Forsaken. You'd pay twice for the 30th Anniversary Pack. You'd pay twice for Witch Queen, Beyond Light, and Shadowkeep. You'd be paying for things double over. Astacross brought this up in his video, and I'm asking myself the same question. Why is there not an option just to buy every single previous expansion outright, just like that? Why can I not just say, hey, I want Forsaken, Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, and Witch Queen in one bundle, and the 30th Anniversary Pack, and Lightfall in one bundle? Why is that not a thing? And I think the reason why is because Bungie likes to make it confusing, because you think, oh, okay, well, I'll get the Armory Collection, which has the 30th Anniversary and Forsaken Pack, and then I can get, and then I can get Lightfall, right? And then what else can I get? Well, then I can buy Beyond Light and Shadowkeep, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, it's so confusing. The amount of time you have to invest into figuring out what to get and what not to get is more than most players are willing to put up with, myself included. Like, after seeing this, I feel so bad for my friend, because I was hyping this game up, but when he came into Steam, if this is what he saw, which I'm sure it is, I wouldn't want to buy it either. I would not have any, like, I wouldn't want to buy it at all. So this is absolute, just, oh, so it's frustrating to even look at this and read this. But he also goes on to say, the dungeon keys. These don't even include dungeon keys, with the exception of Bungie 30th Anniversary Pack, right? This whole idea of dungeon keys is a new concept that Bungie's had, and It blows my mind. And this is something I've had thoughts on it before. Of course, this is nothing new, but Ghosts of the Deep, you have to pay an additional $20 for if you want to play it. It doesn't just come with the season. Currently, the Season of the Deep, Ghosts of the Deep, I think it's even advertised in game, like, hey, you can get this, like, come buy this season and you can play this dungeon. It doesn't say that, but it appears that way. And I know that this is just shady business technique by Bungie to get players to have to spend more money on the game, because the dungeon doesn't even come with the season. And that is it's mind-blowing, and it makes sense, I guess, to a degree, because the dungeon is going to be relevant after the season's over. But at the same time, like, why are they not having a dungeon pack bundled with the season pass, right? Hey, I want to spend the $12 on the season pass, or for $20 I get the season pass and the dungeon key. Why is it so difficult to understand that, hey, the dungeon is separate from everything else? Like, if you buy the season pass, you do not get the dungeon, because that's what it looks like in advertising. And then upon further research, it's like, oh, no, like, that's not how it works. Of course, he talks about the season price increase, which we've talked about that extensively on the channel. We get it if Bungie needs to increase the price to $12, but for them to just recently add this $15 silver bundle is a big old load of BS. Because previously you had to buy a $20 silver bundle instead. You had to buy $20 to buy the $12 season pass. Now they've reduced it to $1,500. So it's like, oh, well, now you only have to spend $1,500. So it's still $15 for the season pass. 300 silver ain't going to get you anything in the store. I literally cannot think of anything that you can get for 300 silver. Maybe you could get maybe a ghost projection or something, which honestly, I don't even care. I don't even think I use a ghost projection on most of my stuff. But this is shady business technique by Bungie. You can't just say, hey, I want this season and just this season, so here's, let me buy 1,200 silver and get it. No, can't do that. And he talks about that. He also talks about events, which events are, on one hand, I get where he's coming from with events. On the other, I don't really care. Events, they have not a pay to win, but they have a paid feature where you can get cool, like, items and stuff like that for $10, blah, blah, blah. I've got them before, mainly for the shader, but at the same time, I do share the sentiment that it's kind of a ripoff. Like, you're paying $10 for a shader. That's what most players do, because I don't think anybody cares about the other stuff that comes with it. The ghost shell. Maybe sometimes there's a cool ghost shell, blah, blah, blah. But with events, I don't know. I'm kind of here, there. I don't know where I am with events. But then he goes into Eververse. And Eververse, this is kind of one of the big ones, because I have always considered Eververse to be an A-okay thing to have in the game. And I would say it still is an A-okay thing to have in the game, because microtransactions are here to stay in every game. In every single game that they have currently out, any AAA game, there's microtransactions. You got them in Call of Duty, you got them in Fortnite, you got them in what else? I can't think of any of the other games, any of the other AAAs off the top of my head. But you have microtransactions in literally every single AAA title. Don't quote me on that, because I'm sure there's probably one out there that doesn't. But Eververse it's an okay thing to have. But look at the prices in there. And I had never actually sat down and thought about it until I watched that video, and how expensive it really is to buy an armor set. You have to spend $20 to get an armor set for one character. It's not, oh, here, $20 gets you, this bundle that has 3 different armor sets, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, $20 gets you one armor set, which is crazy. And of course in the Eververse store, it's advertised like, oh, it's originally $2,500, but we'll scratch that out and put $2,000, make it seem like a bargain or a deal. Man, I'll tell you this, when they added what was it, I think it was not the PlayStation exclusives, the collaboration they did with, I think it was Fortnite, and it was, I think it originally was like $20, but they had it scratched out and said, well, you can get it for $15. I think it's still $15. Like, they never actually adjusted the price on it. They just added that little line through it, saying it's not $2,000, it's $1,500. Like, What? Okay, yeah, cool. $15 for that? No, and you can't even, like, if you want to be effective in your gameplay, like, you can't even use all of it. You know, because if you're using an exotic armor piece, you can only use 4 of the 5 pieces at any given time, right? I don't know. That's wild. The prices in there are insane. Of course, Bungie is moving into the whole selling shaders on top of it. You know, this season I don't think we have any new shaders that you can get from like Eververse, so to speak, with Bright Dust. All the new shaders that came in the Eververse store, yeah, just it's silver only. A $10 bundle at that. You know, and $10 gets you shader and what I think an ornament for a weapon and what else? A ghost projection, right? I don't you know, is it overpriced? Yeah, I think so. But, you know, again, it's like, okay, well, you can kind of justify it because those are technically cosmetic items, right? Exactly right. However, that leads us into the last thought that he had. And this is where my mind was like, okay, actually, what? Basically, he breaks down the idea of the season pass. And he says that season pass is essentially pay to win. Okay, season pass is not a cosmetic only thing because from the season pass, you have access to ascendant shards, ascendant alloys, legendary shards, armor, weapons, engrams, all this stuff that you don't get in the free version. Then he brought up Dato's video again, you know, where he says if people have the option to pay for legendary marks or whatever it was in D1, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh my God, like never, ever thought of it that way. But he's exactly right. You know, the season pass is literally a pay to win thing because players can buy the season pass. Boom. Now you get exotics that you wouldn't normally get before. You have weapons that you know that you may not have gotten or you'd have to really grind for. You know, you get legendary shards, you get ascendant shards, ascendant alloys, and of course, you know, to veteran players it's like, oh yeah, but like that's not that big of a deal. Like you just play a lot and you can get those. And yeah, you're exactly right. Like me, I'm like, oh yeah, cool, you get 3 ascendant shards. Like that's pretty neat, but it's not really game breaking, right? I'm a veteran player and I've had the veteran rose tinted glasses over my eyes. Just like you, if you're a veteran player, you have also had the rose tinted glasses over your eyes because to a player who is not a veteran, who does not, you know, do grandmasters or even master nightfalls frequently, those 3 ascendant shards are a big, big deal. And they look really, really good. It's like, oh, if I just pay $10, I get these for free. You know, and it's just $10 and like it's every 3 months. It's not that big of a deal, blah, 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 blah. But that is exactly what pay to win is. You're paying for a hard to obtain currency. And Astrocross points that out in his video. I had never thought about it. My mind was blown. I don't know. I watched that video and I am more disappointed with Bungie than I've ever been before. And that is surmounting everything else that has been going on recently with, you know, the servers constantly being down and, you know, the state of the game is absolute cheeks. You know, I'm sorry, but it is. And I don't know, this video is just, I strongly encourage you to go watch it. If you haven't seen it, I don't know how you can't have seen it. If you're a Destiny fan, I do not know how you can't have seen it, but definitely go check out Astrocross channel, watch it. It's huge and he's right. And yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm gonna end this video now, but thanks for watching. Like if you enjoyed it, sub for more daily Destiny content, watch the video you see on the end screen, all that good stuff, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.